I am not particularly doing this thing. It has done by an accident. Okay, so that is what your accidental threat is. Okay, and one more we have an intentional or an motivational as well, uh, or you can say someone who is very much motivated behind any of an attack. So yesterday I was been discussing about an Sony attack. Okay, so there was a group who has been attacked into an Sony environment, and they try to collect each and every information, and they had leaked some of the movies as well. Okay, over there are having certain motivation. And what was their motivation? Their motivation was to get in popularity. Okay, and the hacker was GOP. Next, what we have is your vulnerability assessment. In vulnerability assessment, what we generally do, we try to perform an assessment in depth, examine to or to find an ability of a particular system or to an application which is included or currently security procedure. We will try to check what are the security controls are, and we try to see is that particular application or is that particular network can be exploitable or not. Okay, and how we are particularly doing that? First, we will try to gather an information. Once we have the detail, after that, what we will be doing, we will try to scan that particular network or to scan that particular application. Correct. Once it is been done, we will try to deep dive inside that particular network or an application. That is known as your enumeration. Okay. Once it is been done, what I have certain details of my target, right? I have all the ports, open ports of my target, and I have list of an vulnerability of target. Okay, and what I have done, I had identified that this particular vulnerability can lead to an exploit. Okay, that's only the thing I will be doing inside your vulnerability assessment. Okay, once it has been done, after that, who will be taking in charge? Your pen tester. Okay, now what the pen testers have been doing, they are performing an attack into your system, into your network to evade the security. Okay, now pen tester will be using some of the tools, they will be using their techniques to attack into that particular environment. Okay, once it has been attacked, they will try to see what are the weakness inside that particular system or inside that particular environment is. Okay, so why pen tester can help an organization? Pen tester try to find out is there any weakness into the system or is there any weakness into the network. Okay, they determine the robustness of the control. If there is particularly anything additional to be added, do we require certain particular this protocols to be added or any controls to be added? Okay, pen tester also provide a qualitative and a quantitative example of current security and budget priority of an management. Okay, now how the pen tester has been working? There are 5 steps. Step number 1, information gathering. Step number 2, scanning, enumeration, attack, and also they will be maintaining the persistence inside that machine. Okay, clearing all the tracks. This is how your pen tester will be working. Okay, now next what we have, types of an pen tester. Okay, so certainly we have a black box, gray box, and a white box. So if I want that my particular website to be pen tested, and I am particularly asking that I want a black box pen testing. So over there, I will be not providing any scope. Pen tester has zero knowledge, zero idea about a target. He will be starting with very initial. Okay, he will try to collect an information, a detailed information from scratch. First, what he will be doing? Performing an information gathering. From there, he will be collecting each and every detail of my organization, of my particular network. Once he will try to dig inside. What are the domain they have been using? What are the IPs they have been using inside that particular domain? Okay, so black box pen tester are what? You don't have any idea about your target over here. Okay, next what we have is your gray box. Okay, we will be giving them some particular information. Typically, they will be resembling their knowledge to get inside that environment. Okay, now gray box pen tester are useful for simulating and trying to, or you can say they are trying to check what are the behavior and what are the unprivileged insider threat is. Okay, so we will be providing them a partial information about a target, and they will try to check what are the controls, what are the policies, and is there any particular vulnerability, or is there anything that can breach inside that particular network or inside this particular system is with their knowledge. Okay, and last we have is your white box pen testing. Okay, now this white box pen tester will know about your environment. They will be having complete information of a target. Okay, and the consultant or the person who is trying to provide or who is trying to have a pen test inside their organization will be giving him complete access of the information about the network, what particular type of testing should be done. Okay, and after that they will be taking a follow-up as well. Okay, and in each follow-up they will try to check is there any flaw discovered. Okay, so again, they are doing what? They are trying to collect the useful information inside or by using their simulation, or they are trying to check the behavioral or your privilege threat inside that particular network. Okay, so these three types of pen test we do generally, and moreover we go with a gray box or by an white box. There is very rare time we go with an black box pen test. Next, what we have, we will try to understand what are your security concern and what are the general vulnerability type is. Okay, so what we are doing, we are trying to perform a security assessment. Correct? Effectively, it is not very much simple to matter to choose an appropriate tool. So what we will be doing, we will try to understand the network or the environment. Okay, according to that, we will choose that particular tool, that which particular tool I want to use into this particular environment, and why we are doing to check or to collect an information to get a vulnerability inside any particular system into a network. Correct. So what we will be doing, we will try to evaluate about all the impact that can arise from vulnerability. Okay, so that the assessment and the remediation actively can prioritize your most needed. Okay, so what do we have? when we are trying, or when we are particularly talking about your security concern and your general vulnerability, so we can also say that any weakness or any flaw inside your code or inside your software, not only it is affecting the code, it is affecting your application as well, and along with that it is affecting your operating system as well. Okay, for an example, the pen test of your Android and iOS is been done by the company itself. iOS pen test has been done by an Apple, and Android pen test has been done by an Google. But what we do an mobile application testing, and with the help of that we will try to get inside that particular mobile phone. So that is what, that is your software vulnerability. That software can affect your mobile system. Next is what, zero day and your legacy platform vulnerability. A vulnerability can be exploited by whom? By an attacker before even the developer knows about it. And after that, they will be releasing the patch. Okay. I had launched one particular application today, and along with that, I had updated with an particularly software update or with any particular update. Now, today I released a patch, and on the same day, attacker attacked into it and find the vulnerability. Okay. On next day, I figure it out that something has been exploited, and on next day I will be sending an again a new patch. So many a times what Google Chrome is trying to do, he is simply trying to fix this particular vulnerability. He is updating or he is giving an update on the second day or on the same day. Attacker is attacking into that particular browser and they are finding a vulnerability. And if you simply search over a Google about your Google Chrome is the most vulnerable web browser in today's list. He is the topmost one, and he is the particular browser which has been affected with your zero-day vulnerability. Okay, now legacy platform is what? Legacy platform is which is no longer available, no longer support is available, or you can say a security patch has been available by the developer. So you have seen, if you're using particularly any Android phone and that particular Android phone is 3 years old, so any vendor or particularly mobile phone vendor of an Android, they are only providing the security patch and an Android update patch for in 2 years, isn't it? If you are using Windows 7 or Windows XP, so Windows is only providing an update for Windows 10 and 11. So what they are doing, they are certainly not providing any security patch or in support to all the sold application. Now that particular application or an operating system can also lead to your vulnerability. If you search over in Google, you will find multiple vulnerability list of an Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 10, and all the previous this Android versions. Okay, and they don't have patch because company is not providing any support, or they are not providing any security patches to it. Correct. So that comes under your legacy platform vulnerability, where no longer support of your security patch is being available by your developer or by your vendor. Okay. Next, what we have is your weak host configuration. Or I can say everyone is using a router at their home. Correct. Now that particular router has been coming with an default ID and password now. Okay. If you are not changing that default setting, what is that? That is your weak host configuration. By default, each and every router come with an ID and password with an admin. Anyone can log inside that particular router. Just need to find out what the IP is. Simply he can get inside that particular network or inside that router and change. He can change the setting. And inside this information gathering, one particular website often showed an. Okay, inside Shodan, I can simply search for a camera or a webcam. It will give me the list of an open webcam. Now, those are your weak host configured webcams. Now, next what we have is your weak network configuration. Any particular service which is not particularly used inside that organization and they had kept it on. Or you can say the open port or the service which is not which has been used as an unsecure protocol to transfer any file, to transfer any particular data. So when I'm using an FTP, all the data is been sent in your clear text format. Over there, we are not using any digital certificate in order to provide any encryption. Again, with an HTTP as well. Over there, all the particular data has been transferred in your plain text format. Any person can mitigate inside the network and see what the data has been transferred from that particular network. Okay, so first thing what we will be doing, whenever we are visiting any particular website, first try to check whether that particular website is an secured one or not. They are using encryption or not. If not, your data is being transferred into a clear text format and anyone can read that particular data. Next, what we have is a vulnerability scanning techniques and their type. Now, when I am performing a pen test or when I am performing a vulnerability assessment, so can anyone tell me what particular tool I can use over here? Or what particular application I can use? Or have anyone performed any pen test? The best tool I can go with an Nmap. So Nmap is used to check your open port as well. Nmap is used to perform an scanning as well. Nmap is used to perform an enumeration as well. Okay. Down the line, I will giving you a certain overview on an Nmap. What are the basic command we can use inside an Nmap? Okay, so I guess so tomorrow we will be having some practical over there. I will be giving you certain information about this Linux command. Okay, over there we will be looking into an nmap as well. What are the script, how we can use that particular script, how I can use an nmap to scan or to enumerate inside any network. Okay, apart from nmap, I can use nessus. Okay, nessus is again an scanning tool which is an automated one. What I have to do, I need to perform all the IP, and after that what particular scan I need to perform, simply going with that and simply run the task. Straight away he will be giving me all the details. What is there any vulnerability, what is the vulnerability score is, and is there any particular open mode, all the details of it. Okay, and many a times this automated scanner also giving you a false positive report. Okay, so we cannot rely on the automated scan. So the best we can do over here is your manual pen test. Okay, so types of vulnerability scanning optimized by different tasks is your network vulnerability scanner. Okay, now when I'm talking about network vulnerability scanner, okay, so in network vulnerability scanner, what I can use, I can simply use an tablenet nessus or an openvars. Okay, now this particular tool has been designed to test your network host, including your client, including your mobile devices, server, router, switches. Okay, they examine all the particular devices which is inside the premises of your organization. Again, they will be scanning your application as well. And at the last, they will be comparing all the result and they will be give you an configured scanned result. Okay, so this result can be used by your vulnerability assessment team and they will identify the missing patches over there. Or you can say your baseline, configure template, or your related vulnerability. Okay, next what we have is your application and web application scanners. Okay, now again, I can use multiple tools as well over here. particularly if I want to perform any pen test in your application or inside your web application. Okay, so I can easily go with an Nikto, okay, or I can go with an XSS as well, burp suit as well. Okay, now over here, what I am doing, I am dedicatedly trying to see what is there inside my particular application. I will be scanning that application. I will try to configure that it. Okay, and I will try to collect detailed information, particularly about the script. I will try to run the script. Okay, then I will try to attack into that particular application. Okay, is there any particular missing patches, missing configuration inside that particular application is? Okay, which can lead to an vulnerability. Okay, next what we have is your common vulnerability exposure, CVE, your MITRE organization. Okay, now when I'm talking about the CVE, so CVE is what? CVE will be listing all the vulnerability in your CVE format, common vulnerability exposure. Okay, and how your CVE format will be? It will be looking like this: CVE followed by, let's say, okay, now this is your vulnerability. This is the year in which vulnerability has been formed, and this is your CVE ID. Okay, now again it will be containing 4 digit, which indicates the order of that particular vulnerability. Okay, when this particular vulnerability has been discovered, followed by the year. Okay, and this has been maintained by an MITRE. Okay, now CVSS, what has it been doing? It is denoting that how serious your vulnerability is. And how it has been done? Your severity along with your base score.
Correct.
Okay, let's say the vulnerability base score is 0.0. Your severity will be none. If your vulnerability base score is between 0.1 to 3.9, now your severity, if your base score of your vulnerability is 4.0, if your severity base score will be 7.0 to 8.9, from 9.0 to 10.0. Okay, now let's say I had performed a pen test for InfosecTrain. Okay, and what I got 3 vulnerabilities. Okay, one particular vulnerability is being having a base score of 0.2. One vulnerability is having a base score of, let's say, 4.2, and one vulnerability will be having a base score of 9. Okay, I had created a report, I had submitted a report to the InfosecTrain. Now what InfosecTrain will be doing? They will be rectifying this, and they will act in which particular vulnerability first? Who is holding the vulnerability score 9.0? First, they will be trying to fix this. After that, they will try to fix 4.2, and down the line they will fixing the low vulnerability. Okay, so this is how it will be going on. And if there is any particular critical vulnerability, they will be not exposing that. If I am sitting inside an InfosecTrain and I am particularly doing a pen test for an InfosecTrain, if I got it, I will be not exposing it. straight away I will be connecting with my all the teams and ask them to fix it. If there is
Yeah,
any third party has been performing the pen test over there, this criteria goes on. Next, what we have is your password attacks. Okay, so when we are talking about an password attacks, when we are talking about password attack, so what the attacker will be doing, it will try first, he will try to go with a normal attack. Okay, okay, after this we will see what are the different types of password attack. First let's see what is a password attack is. Okay, so what user has been doing, first user has been choosing a password. Okay, and that password has been converted into a cryptic function that can be an MD5 or it can be on SHA. Okay, now that particular plain text password is been converted into an hash. Okay, now what attacker has been doing, it will try to collect this hash first, and after that he will try to exploit this hash. Okay, he has many open sources. He can go with a dictionary, he can go with a brute force, he can go with any rainbow table, or he can simply go with an encrypting that particular hash. Okay, again, certainly if I'm going with a dictionary or a brute force, it is not very easy to go with a brute force. It can take your it can consume your, it will be giving you a result in 1 day as well, into 10 minutes as well, or it can give you a result in years as well. It totally depends how encrypted that particular password is, how much strong that particular password has been holding an encryption. Okay, now we have a software for it as well. What are the types of a password attack? Okay, first we have is your plain text. Plain text is what the attacker has been doing. Attacker is simply trying to get all the details. Okay, when I'm talking about HTTP over there, I'm trying to, I am particularly denoting, I am sending all the details into a plain text format, right? Now that particular plain text format, I can simply convert it, I can simply gather all the information, and I simply can access that account. Okay, you can also say man in the middle attack. Okay, then next what we have is your online attack. Okay, now in online attack, what the attacker has been doing, attacker will interact with your authentication server directly. He will attack into your authentication server, and from there he will be having all the list of and password, which will help him to get inside your organization. Okay, you can simply click over a start and search for an event viewer inside your system. Okay, and inside an event viewer you will be finding one particular uh, on a left hand side you will see one particular section by the name of an application. Okay, now inside that particular application you will see there will be a list of failed password attempts logs created. If you are connecting into any application, if you are trying to access that particular application, and particularly uh, there are certain failed password attempt, it will create a log. Okay, your system is also holding all the details. Next we have is your password spraying. Now password spraying is what you can say a guesswork. Okay, simply on the basic of a unique password, attacker will be going with all the basic base password 12345, password by the name and password, admin, all by pa $, W0RD. If I want to save certainly any particular hotspot password, we go with 123456789. Anyone can connect to that particular network. Okay. Then we have is your dictionary. Okay. Now in dictionary, what we are doing, we are simply going with an guessing of an plain text format. You will be having a list. Okay, you can simply Google it as well. You can use a tool as well, particularly if I want to use a tool to perform a dictionary password. So I can use an Hydra, or I can go with an netcrack as well. Uh, Inside our the Linux based machine, we have an inbuilt dictionary. So we are using that dictionary to perform this attack. Okay, let me show you that as well. Okay, first let me get an root access. Okay, now my dictionary will be named as a docu.txt. Let me see where my particular dictionary has been stored. So I will go with a locate command. Okay, now this dictionary has been stored inside this user share word list. So simply going inside this folder, uh, can you see a file by the name of docu.txt? Okay, now I want to see how many passwords are there inside this particular dictionary. So what I will be doing, I will be calling out for my this particular file. Okay, and I want to check all the first, what are the one word count of all the initial password. Give me the list of how many passwords are there. Count all the first initial word of each and every password. Almost 1.4 crores. Again, this password keeps on updating. Okay, your Linux sends an update. In that update, your password is also getting updated. Your password list also getting an update. If you want to see a password, these are the list of a password. These are your well-known password, which is updated inside this list. Attacker release the list and Kali will update the multiple combination. Okay, I can use a brute force attack in this as well. In brute force attack, what I am doing, I am simply going with a combination in order to match all the hash. Correct? We get in plain text, then we will be generating it. For example, let's say my password is ABC12. I will be going at BCA21, ACB12, all the different combination I will be trying. Okay. Then next what we have is your rainbow table. Now this rainbow table stores or it itself having a database. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, now inside this rainbow table, inside the database of the rainbow table, all the password has been stored. Can you see over here? This is your rainbow table is, and you can find multiple website which has been hosting this particular, which will be having this particular database. Okay, now on the left hand side, can you see 20 new hash has been cracked? Okay, this is the hash, this is the plain text of that particular hash. When it has been cracked, it is having the data as well. Okay, now this particular rainbow table is been going with only a 16 character and a 32 character long hashes. Okay, now this rainbow table is having a drawback as well. Okay. What's the drawback is, whenever we convert any hash into a plain text, it will always give me the plain text into an uppercase. Okay, after that I have to do the guesswork. The password can be into any format. Okay, let's suppose I crack certain hashes and the password is given by my rainbow table. So I will going with an each and every combination. I have to do the guesswork over there. Okay, this is the drawback of an rainbow table. It will always give you the list of a password, or it will crack that particular password into an uppercase. Okay, now it's our work to go with an each and every character to cross verify what is the actual password is, and so on. And we have one more tool we can use, that is by the name hashcat. Again, this hashcat is what? It's an Windows application. Windows application tool. Simply I have to deploy this inside my Windows based machine, and I can use this particular application to crack that particular hash. Again, there are certain limitations inside this hashcat. Not each and every hash has been cracked. Okay, we cannot relay into this hashcat as well. Okay, so over the Google you will be finding multiple websites which are converting or which are decrypting these hashes. Okay, so we have multiple resources. So particularly I had created an environment, so it's in Windows box. It goes with your Windows 10 as well, Windows 11 as well. Okay, so what we can do, simply go inside your command prompt. Okay, so now what I will be doing, in Windows there is a backdoor. Okay, first I will try to see who is my admin, what particular name of my admin is, who is holding all the privileges. Okay, so inside the system there are three particular account by the name admin, guest, and help assist. So what I will be going with an net user administrator. Here's the list what that particular admin can do. Okay, if I want to change a password, simply go with a star at the end. Can you see? Type a password for the user. Particularly this particular machine is holding a password, and I don't know that what that particular password is. Does this machine is asking me my previous password? No, it's not. Let me go ahead and give it a new password. This is in Windows XP, but this goes with your new Windows as well, Windows 10 as well, Windows 11 as well. But there is a condition again. Okay. Now the condition is what? If you are logged in with your email ID, you cannot do this. If you are not logged in with if that particular system is not logged in with any email ID, you can simply change the password. If that particular system has been logged with, if you are performing this step and the system has been logged with an email ID, you will get an error something like 8646 occurred. Simply you can copy that particular error command and Google it. It will be saying you that your system particularly has been logged with an email ID. Then you cannot change it. If that system is not logged in with an email ID, you can simply change the password of that machine. Okay. First, you need to get inside that machine, and after that, you can perform this. If that particular net user command has been blocked, again, inside an organization, I will be providing certain privileges to that particular user. He will be not holding all the privileges. He cannot use the he cannot use that particular admin account. Okay, from an admin account, I can simply do that, or from an root account, I can simply do that without knowing the password of that machine. Yes, if that particular user can use this, then why he will be using this particular net user command? Already, if he want to change the password, he knows the password. If he don't know the password, he can use this. If this is a case of an attacker I'm talking about. Okay, let's say I attacked into your environment. Now I hold certain, I attacked into one particular system. Now that system is an normal user. Okay,
Mhm.
remember about this privilege escalation yesterday we were talking about. Now what that particular attacker has been doing, he is trying to escalate the privileges from a normal user to an admin user. Okay, he will try to get an access to an admin user. Okay, this is the way, the first step he will try to do. Once he had the admin user, he can manipulate any system, he can manipulate any devices. Let's discuss about social engineering and the types of an attack. Now, how this particular phishing has been done. If I am an attacker, what I will be doing? I will be simply crafting an email. With that email, what I have done, a good looking email, I am sending you that, oh, you are being particularly awarded with 1000 USD. Okay, now to claim this, you can particularly click in this link. Okay, if any particular person go to that link, if he tried to access that particular website, or if he tried to enter anything inside that particular website, all the details will get captured by an attacker. Okay, so many a times when I'm particularly talking about and phishing one. Okay, now this particular Jamtara has been talking about a deep dive inside in phishing world. The people sitting in the Jamtara, what they are doing, they are actually considering, or you can say they are the South Asia's biggest phishing center in India. And this is presently in India as of now. Over there, people are speaking the different languages and they don't, they haven't gone to in school yet. They are not school passed as well, but they learn this particular language somehow. Okay, and they are doing this activity. They have been calling with they are calling to an people, and they have been saying that you have to update your KYC. Please give me all the details. They will be asking the card number. They will be asking the CVV ID. After that, one OTP has been sent. If that particular person is not very much aware about all this thing, he will be simply giving him the OTP straight away. The amount has been detected. Recently, one of my friend that get particular hampered with this. Okay, almost 20,000 bucks has been lost of that particular account, and this was been done into last month. Yes, he was been telling about me. So there are many people you can see right now have been victimized by this in an organization as well. Many a time we receive this particular email, or in a personal email as well, we receive all this phishing traps email. Okay, click into this link. Those links are gone inside your spam. Just open your spam box, you will see list of emails. Okay. Next, what we have is your sniffing. Okay. Simply attacker, what he will be doing, he will be crafting a good looking SMS, a lottery SMS. Okay. Inside that SMS, he will be simply sending you a malicious link. If you click on that particular link, boom, account has been deducted with so an amount. Calling and asking for an OTP. Next we have is your spear phishing. Now, what is a spear phishing? A law enforcement and a cross-industry perspective targeted to an individual. Okay, again, it's a social engineering attack. The attacker will be doing, attacker will be penetrating or will be attacking into a trusted individual. Okay, he tricks the target. He will be sending a link, a spoofing email, or a text email, or an instant message. Okay. Next we have is your whaling. Now, this is also a phishing attack. Okay. Now whaling has been done to all the high profiles, all your CEO, CTO, CFOs. Okay. What attackers will be doing? Attacker simply sending an email to all these particular higher authorities. Okay. And what they will be saying, they have been this pretending that I am your particularly a vendor, you had taken some particular service from me and there is a amount to be paid for this. Okay, you haven't paid for this. So what that particular CEO CTO has been doing, if he has been busy into his work, he will simply approve that particular account and money has been transferred. Okay, so attacker are been sending a phishing email to all these higher authorities. Okay, shoulder surfing, someone has been saying about this at the very first when we started about. The most common example I will be giving you over here is your ATM. Like when you are entering your PIN, someone has been sneaking from behind. Okay. Another example would be when at certain point, at certain age, during an exam, what we do at particular last hour, we try to we try to peek into someone exam sheet. That the guy who's been sitting in front of me. I have done this many a times during my college days. I was doing a social engineering attack. I am trying to particularly sniff to the shoulder and try to see what that particular person has been writing. Next we have is your dumpster diving. Okay. Now, back in old days, you can say in 2000, there was particularly a research group who was particularly researching on this dumpster diving. Okay, so let me give an example again over here. There was an old lady who has been living in very much neighbor to them. Okay, and what this attacker has been trying to do, what this lady actually is doing, she is simply dumping all her details, like her electricity bill, card copies, the particularly security social number. Okay, she is if any envelope has been received, she is reading that particular envelope and just been throwing into an dustbin. Okay, now what that particular individual or this group has been doing, they are collecting the information and they are doing a photocopy of all the details of that lady. Okay, they had collected the copies and what they have done, they had went to a department of motor vehicle to get a license. Okay, over there, what officer has asked that, okay, there are your details. Now, where is that particular lady? So what the attacker will be doing, they are simply going with any old lady, and they are be teaching them, okay, you have to pretend to be this lady, and we will be submitting a document on behalf of you, and you will get an driving license. Now, they are simply spoofing that individual. Okay, once that has been done, they are simply using a duplicate driving license, and they are doing certain malicious work, unintentional work. Okay, they are collecting certain bills, they have been getting some information out of it, and that old lady is getting all the bills. Okay, so, and let me give you a best example out of it. Do you buy anything from an Amazon or anything from any particular e-commerce website? Dumping, or are we destroying that particular thing? Okay, if that is not been done, easily anyone can take an advantage from that. Again, if we are ordering something into our office address, generally this attacker try to dump inside your office dustbin. They will be having the information that this person has been working in this organization, this is his email, this is his particular phone number, this is his address. Now, it's an easy task for me to send to perform a social engineering attack over here. I will be sending a phishing email. I will be doing a smishing attack over there. From a dumpster diving also, we can collect an information. Again, we will be doing the step number 1 of an attack, information gathering. Okay. Next we have is your piggybacking. Okay. Now, this piggybacking is what? Let's say we are right now, all the 40 participants are sitting over here, and we are working into the same organization. Okay, let's say you all are working into the same organization and you don't know me. Okay, now someone has been passing by, and let's say Mr. Prasad has been passing by. Okay, and I try to communicate with Mr. Prasad, and I was been telling him that, hi Prasad, or hi XYZ, uh, today I forgot my uh, ID with me. I forgot my access card with me. Okay, and I am working into an HR department by so and so name. Okay, can I have an access with you? Okay, now you are an authorized person, and with you, I am also getting an access inside that particular organization. And I am trying to tell him that I am also working into the same organization into this designation. You might have heard my name many a times over an email, over a call. I am into an HR team. Okay, I am taking advantage of Mr. Prasad, and I am simply getting inside the organization. Okay, that is what your piggy banking is. From an authorized person trying to take an advantage to get inside the organization. Now, there is a difference between piggybacking and one more thing, that is your tailgating. Following an authorized person into a restricted area. Okay. Someone has been traveling by, he don't know I am standing at behind him, he punched his access card, he walked inside the organization, and I also walked inside an organization, and that particular person is not very much aware about that. I taken the advantage. Many a times we do in an organization. If I particularly forgot anything, I get inside it. But again, that's not a good practice. Okay, so don't try this, don't do this. Next we have is your honey trap. So what the attacker has been doing, they are simply trying to contact any individual from an organization. If they want to attack into an organization, they will be pretending that I am XYZ person. The hacker will connect with that particular person. They will be talking on a very a good note, and from that, the attacker will try to collect an information of an organization. Okay. Next we have is your impersonation. Okay. Now, impersonation is what? Pretending to be. So I will be pretending that I am into an XYZ designation. I will send an email or I will try to connect any particular person or I will be calling any individual that I am from an HR team. This is my particular name, and that particular he is having the detail of your HR, and he's trying to pretend that I am from this department, I am this particular person, I need certain details of you because I want to update this inside a database. Some of the entries have been deleted. So can you tell me your house address? Can you tell me where particular what particular phone you have been using? Okay, what is your personal email ID? Can you share me all the document? Okay, so what the attacker has been doing, the attacker is trying to impersonating, attacker is trying to act like an individual. Okay, so let's look into how you can perform or how you can do a simple social engineering based attack with your Kali. Okay, so what I will be doing, I will be simply using one tool. Okay, the tool name is SE Toolkit. It's a social engineering standard toolkit. Okay, and with the help of that toolkit, I will try to create a malicious link. From that link, I will try to collect an information. Okay, now SE Toolkit is a tool particularly, okay, it's not an pre-embedded firmware, or you can say pre-installed. Okay, if you want to use, we can simply go with an name by the name SE Toolkit. First, let me get an admin access. For that, I will go with sudo su. Now, what I will be doing, I will simply going with an command SE Toolkit. Okay, after that, let's see what option I have. Can you see? Okay, now SE Toolkit has given a pretty big menu. Okay, with the help of this, I can perform a social engineering attack. I can do a penetration testing, fast track. I can perform a third-party module as well. I can update the social engineering toolkit as well. I can update set configuration, help, credit, and about this particular toolkit. Now, I am after an social engineering attack. So what I will be doing, I will be simply going with an option number one. Okay, again, inside that I have pretty big list. I can perform a spear phishing attack vector. I can perform a website attacking vector. I can infectious mail generator. I can create a payload. I can perform a mass mailer attack. I can do an insight-based attack vector. I can perform a wireless access point attack. I can generate a QR code. I can do a PowerShell attack vector, or I can do a third-party module. Okay. Now inside this, I want to go with a website attack vector. Again, I will go with the second option. Hit enter. Okay. Now, can you see again a list has been given. Inside this, I have a Java applet, Metasploit browser, credential, harvester, webjacking, multi-attack web, S3 attack. Okay. So I will be going with an option 5, that is your webjacking attack method. Okay, so what I can do, I can create a web template, I can create a site cloner, I can custom import that particular site. Okay, now webjacking, for webjacking, I required a website details. Okay, once I have that, then I can perform a web template. It will be again a lengthy process for me. For a custom import as well, I will be downloading each and every information of that particular website from my tool. Then I will be uh, uh, creating a clone of that particular website. Okay, so over here, I will go with a site cloner. Okay, I want to clone one particular website over here. Okay, now can you see what information I am getting over here? IP address for the post back in Harvester tabnetting is 192.168.80.127. One ninety two, 168.80.127. Okay, so what I am doing over here, I am simply making my Linux machine as a server. I want to host that particular website from my particular Linux machine. Okay, so I will be going with the same IP. Now, what has been asking? Enter the URL you want to clone. Okay, now it over here I will be specifying the website that I want to clone. Okay, so I will go with, okay, now my site has been cloned. What I will be doing, I will be going straight away with the IP inside my home machine. It is redirecting me to a particular website, a particular link, the site of an login Facebook. Forget about the language. It's the reason because I'm particularly sitting into the region. So by default, it is going with an default Indian page. Okay. Now, what he has been asking, he is asking me an ID and password to log inside this website. Okay. There are two fields with an username and password. Notice this very much carefully. Okay. Right now, what he has been asking for, what he is after for, he has been after for an username and password. Okay, so over here, any volunteer want me to specify any username and password that I want to go with? Okay, now it has redirected me to an actual Facebook login page. Okay, if I hover around a bit above, just keep an eye somewhere the details are being stored. All the details have been captured inside this. Now, what do you will think from this? You had logged in, you had provided him and details, Again, the page has been given to you. What do you will think? You had entered a wrong password. Okay. Again, you will be going, again, you will be retyping all the details. Right. But at the back end, what attacker has been doing, he is simply trying to capture all the details by sending an phishing email or phishing link. I can change this link as well. Okay. Over an email, what the particular individual attacker has been doing, they are simply going with an shortening the URL. Okay. So from this tiny URL, I can simply shorten that particular URL. Okay. What I have to do, I have to simply give him an IP address, which particular URL I want to shorten. Okay. I want to shorten this particular IP address. I want to make this particular IP address as a URL. They can mask that particular IP. It's just the one thing which we can do. It's just the example I'm giving over here. Can you see? I have a URL. I have masked that particular IP. I can send this particular IP URL over an email, and boom, I have all the details. emkei.cz. It's a fake emailer website, and it's a very good email website, in fact. Okay, so what I can do, I can pretend anything, anyone over here. I can pretend any particular person. From that particular person, I can send an email to anyone. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's try this out. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to send an email from an Abhishek name, or let's say, let's take a, it is not taking your actual email. It is cloning your email. It is sending on behalf of you. It is not taking your server over here. It is masking one particular email by your email. And what if you are if that particular attacker has been sending on your personal ID, and that too on your Yahoo account? Yahoo account never block this particular thing. Okay. Uh, let's say I want to send an email to this ID. Okay, okay. So there are certain rules where we are providing inside our web servers. And if I am deploying any particular web server for my email account, so what I will be doing, I will be creating such environment that if there any phishing email or if there any malicious email is being received from any outsource or any particular individual from outside that particular network, straight away they will be blocking that individual. Okay, or else what we can do, I have one particular website as well. So let me share you that website. It's a very good website in fact, by the name of your virus total. Okay, so what you can do over there, if you receive or if you want to check any URL, you can simply copy that URL and simply paste that particular URL. Okay, it will give you all the list, whether that URL or whether that particular website is there any malicious thing inside that particular URL or not. Alien Vault is if you go for particularly if you search for a particular website of an Alien Vault, over there what you have to do, just create an account. Okay, and from there you can see multiple vulnerability details. Okay,
Okay.
just you will be having and filter over there, you can search for any vulnerability and you will be having all the details of that particular vulnerability. This particular vulnerability, if there is any recent vulnerability by that particular name into any organization, you will be having a number of details. Okay, uh, I have one open in my over here. Okay, so what I have done, I simply search for an WannaCry. It has given me the list of it. We can simply search for any particular vulnerability. Okay, and again I was been talking about a virus total as well. Okay, I search for this virus total with particular website from an here. So what I did, I simply copied search for any WannaCry link. Okay, I copied that link, I checked inside an virus total, and it has given me the date that this particular link, that particular website is a malicious website. Okay, I can have all the details of it. Whenever you receive any mail or any particular thing over an email, if there any particular link, so just hover it around and try to check whether that particular link is an malicious or not. Go over this website, inside this, place the URL, and you will have the details. Okay, first try to create an account inside your agent vault. Okay, and let's see, I want to send this particular message from this ID to this ID. Okay, let's see if I can receive the email from an admin. I have one in the inbox. Can you see? So what I have done, I simply used someone account email ID and I had shared an email ID to another person. Just give it a try. Don't send any email to anyone. Okay. This is just for in practice. Again, if you are using this email, this particular fake emailer, Google will block it. Okay, because it Gmail will block it. It has many filters. It will show some warning. Okay, if you want to, it will try to check whether that particular ID is from an authenticate particular ID or not. Okay, again, the best practice you can do, just create two fake IDs and try to send it over there. Okay,
Okay.
there are many possibilities that that particular website is also collecting your information, your email ID. So we cannot trust on that particular ID, that particular website as well. So someone has created that website not only for this purpose, he's also tracing all the information, whatever you are sending, from which ID you have been sending. Everything has been captured inside his database. We can send an file as well. Particularly, there are some authentication warning he will give. He will look for that particular email has been sent from any authenticate person or not. This goes very well with Yahoo.
Okay.
Straight away, it will be
Oh,
drop that email inside your. When we particularly talking about any authentication or any protocol, so we can give inside it. Okay, so how my particular website or how my particular this email should go on, which particular domain from which particular domain I can receive that particular email. Okay, so I can give all the authentication over there. Again, there are multiple tools you will be getting out over in this over in Google. We can do that too, but there are certain limitations for it as well. Okay, again, mail servers are been blocking those details. We will be having some details. Okay, if we are using any paid tools, we can have some more information from the where particular this from which particular IP to IP this has been hopping on, and from where this particular mail has been traveling on. So I can have some of the hops over there. Okay, I can have some intermediates as well in between, from which particular email is been, this particular mail has been traveling on. Okay, if I want to send any message, I can dispose that particular message. So what I can do, I can simply destruct that message after 10 minutes, after 20 minutes, after 1 day. Straight away that message will get deleted from your inbox. I can use this particular link. From this particular link, I can play it around. We can have certain limitation over there. We can collect little information over there. Again, I should be having certain privileges of that particular mail server, so I can trace it. If I'm using any third party app, again over there I will be having certain hops from where this particular mail has been traveled on. Okay, so these things comes under your forensic. So while if let's say if we want to collect any evidence, forensic team will be using certain tools, these tools to track on all the details. So they will be collecting each and every evidences out of it. But it's not 100% sure. Attacker, if that attacker has been using certain area of network, or he's been using certain his techniques, so he will be using such a way that nothing can be traced him off. Okay, so what he will be doing, he will be simply using a VPN over there. He will use a tunnel over there. From one hop to another hop, he will try to create a multiple hop. If I am an hacker, why I will be using the same proxy to mask as much as I can my IP. Okay, I can use a bot over there. I can use another machines over there to send that particular thing. I can create a bot list over there. So what the Sony attacker has done, from one particular system, they tried to, on one particular website, they intended or they deployed one malware. Okay, and that particular website was your newspaper website. So all the system, all the users who use that website. Okay, so each and every system is been malicious with your Trojan. Now he is having the control to almost 20 to 25 lakh system. Okay, so he is using all those botnets to collect an information from an Sony network. He is downloading all the details into their machine, and from their machine he is downloading all the details into his database server.
Okay.
Okay, now next we have inside your social engineering attack is your key dropping. So what the attacker or what the individual will be doing, he will be simply installing, or he will be simply adding some malware inside this. Okay, and he will be throwing this thing particularly in the parking lot or in front of an premises. So any particular individual use this USB and connect this USB into his system, straight away that malware will get installed into his system. Okay, now when I'm talking about a malware, we can create a malware. If I want to have a backdoor entry, if I want to create certain backdoor entry, if I want to have, let's say in my particular environment, I want to check that this particular malware can run or not. Okay, so I will be having one set of team. So what that team will be doing, they will be creating a malware and they will try to insert that malware into the network to check to prevent that, to check whether that particular network is, how much that particular network is secure. Okay, so again, this is a very limited job over there. So only a big organization have this particular job profile of creating a malware, of creating a backdoor. Okay, it's in software in fact. Okay, so there's a difference between malware and a virus. Okay, so always have a note over there. So malware is what? It's in software. Okay, and it's a malicious software which can harm your system. Okay, and when I'm talking about a virus, it's a type of a malware. It gives you a backdoor access. Okay, and Trojan will always a genuine looking file. Okay, it will look like a genuine file, like your, let's say it's look like your Excel file or your Word file. Okay, so you cannot easily figure out whether this particular file is a Trojan or this particular file is an actual looking file. Okay, it always look like a genuine file. Now that genuine file will give you an backdoor access.
Okay.
Okay, now I have seen this question in your CYSA as well, and this question has been asked once, twice in CISSP as well, in Security Plus as well, CEH as well. Okay, now there is a difference between worm and virus. Worm replicates in the network, virus replicates in your system. Okay, it affects your system, will get effect with the worm. Okay,
Yes.
let's say we are sitting in a room, we are connected to a same network. Okay, now what are the odds that we can get infected to a worm? Yes, it travels to a network and it will infecting all the system. Okay, and when I'm talking about a virus can replicate themselves, but they can only replicate within the system. Virus
Yes.
won't be traveling in the network. Vital
Source.
information resource under siege. Okay, and the first virus was been named by, I guess so. Yes, it was named by an brain. Okay, and this first virus was been created by two Pakistani brothers. If let's say if we are sitting in the same room and we are connected to the same Wi-Fi, okay, and one particular system has been infected with a virus. Okay, that won't mean that all the system will get infected it with the virus. They are connected in the network, but they won't be infected with with that particular virus. But what if I use a pen drive into one system and I use that same pen drive into another system as well? Now that particular virus will get traveled. It's supposed to run at certain amount of time. Okay, we call it as a line of code.
Okay.
Okay, Heard about keylogger, keystrokes, capturing all the details, whatever you have been typing over there. So clickjacking is what? Uh, let's say you visited a website, okay, or let's say attacker sends you one particular email, okay. In that email, it has been written over there that you have won amount of XYZ, okay. Down the line, there is an image written. There is an image over here. Let's say click here to win, okay. But behind that, there is one more page is been deployed by the name confirm the payment. Okay, so what attacker has done, they had crafted two pages at back to back. They had cloned one more image at the back of this image. If you are clicking this image, by default, it will be running this page as well. If you click on win, if you click on pay, straight away, it will going to click the second page as well, which has been stating the confirm your payment, confirm your bank payment. Okay, so whenever you receive any email or receive any link, I shared one link with you, just paste that link over here and you will be having an information whether that particular link is in malicious or not. Okay, then next we have is your spyware. This work with your browsing history. This is very much browser specific. It will never affect your system. Straight away, it will collect all the data from your browser, your cache memory, your from a history. Okay, so that was an spyware do. Ransomware, we have heard this multiple times. Ransomware is ask for an money. What the attacker will be doing, he will simply encrypting all the file. In return to that, he will ask for an money. Okay. Then we have a wrapper over here. So what this wrapper will be doing, sometime what we need to do, we need to deliver a malware. So, but what we do, we just wrap it inside something. We encode it inside one particular thing. Let's say I am sending you an Word file. Okay. So inside that Word file, I will be wrapping one particular malware. So my firewall or an antivirus cannot trace this. Inside that zip file, I had sent particularly a software. If you click onto that particular application or into that particular link, it will be straight away installed into your system. So what I am doing, I'm simply crafting a particular software or inside one particular. This implementation can be done in an organization. What about an individual into our home network? What about the people are not using any firewall into the system? They are not aware about this thing. We particularly know about the security. We have certain knowledge about the security. There are many people out in the world who don't know about what a security term is. Then we have a cleaner and wiper. Yesterday we have been discussing about it. If I want to clear my track, I can simply use this malware. Okay, we will be encoded it. It will be particularly bypassing all your inline, all your defenses. Okay, and it will be clearing all the tracks. It will be clearing all your logs.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we have your adware. So in this adware, I can simply send an virus or any malware. Okay, It is simply creating a hooks. One after another, I am getting an advertisement. It is simply throwing me in multiple pop-up. Right? By any chance, by any mistake, I clicked into one particular pop-up. What if that pop-up can deploy a spyware inside my browser? Okay. Again, beware this multiple. If anyone is using this torrent website, inside a torrent website, there are multiple adwares have been thrown up. A flashy pop-up. If you click into that, again, a virus has been installed. A virus has been sent to your system.